they want us to read this stuff about history. And I remember you telling me that we're once kings and queens, but they don't mention anything about that in our history book.
Yeah, baby, see, I know. See, because that's our job to finish educating our children and filling in the gaps. Great-great-great-great-grandfather, slave Jacob, and your great-great-great-great-grandmother, slave Mary.
What's your name? Master said my name be Mary.
I be Mandingo warrior.
No, you gonna find yourself with a sucker.
They didn't mention that there was another strong brother out there around that time by the name of Brother Malcolm X. And on the day that he died, it had a profound effect upon our black folks. See, that's one of the reasons why it's important for us to break down this mental condition of slavery. Because if we knew what we went through back then, we would never again allow it to be repeated. We can't allow it to break us. See, it just makes me sick when I see our people hating each other over nonsense, looking like some crabs in a barrel. And this light-skinned, dark-skinned mess is just ridiculous.
No one told you to stand in my way. You just wished you had hair like this.
That's okay. I don't want to join your wannabe sorority anyway.
Child, I remember this story about your uncle's son, Samuel.
Samuel? Who's that? I thought his name was G Money.
Now, boy, you know good and darn well that boy ain't got no money. It should have been G broke.
Word, that's what's up. And boy, put those pants up.
Don't touch me.
Where your belt at?
I don't need no belt.
No, not
Your
today,
pops, why you
not
always be
today.
tripping?
Stop it!
Well, you don't
Hey, calm down. Calm down.
No.
How do you know so much, Grandma?
Well, see, my mother felt as though it was very important for our black community to never forget, just as well as the Jewish community to never forget. So she made me study and learn the history of our people so that it would never happen again.
Juneteenth, we free, Juneteenth.
Doing?
Pretty good, thank you.
Good. How you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's my birthday. So
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. This is a pleasure. Thank you being here with all of you. Talk about yes. Being here with all of you, sharing a little bit of history. This is a very inspiring story, a very inspiring movie. So we're going to kick this off. My name is Denise Scott. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We have Mr. Mike Jones and his cast for Never Again. We are going to let each one of them tell us a little bit about themselves and their journey, and then we're going to dive in. Mr. Mike Jones, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Jones. I'm a playwright, a filmmaker, an author, teacher, a couple of things. But I'm so glad to be and blessed to be in this arena now. This movie means so much to me.
Thank you. And Mr. Hunter?
I'm Barry Hunter. I'm an entrepreneur, a writer, getting into, more involved into acting. And that's about it.
Okay. And you have an interesting, because you play two different characters, correct?
I play seven characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Thomas?
How you doing? My name is Thomas Detweiler. My profession is the pest control guy. But I love doing acting, spoken word, just about anything like that. I just like to have a good time, and I've done stuff with Michael for quite a while. I think it was 2004 originally.
Yeah,
Wow.
in a minute.
It's a long time. And Miss Angela. Miss Angel, I'm sorry.
Oh, hi. I'm one of the younger cast members, but I've been doing theater since I was in elementary school, and I also paint and I draw, and I love anything that is artistic in the artistic realm.
Oh, wow. Might I
Yeah, she's
ask how old
awesome.
are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, okay. So you still have big dreams and big plans to conquer. Okay, and Miss Dumas?
Hi, I'm Felicia. I'm a entrepreneur and an actress. So just glad to be here.
Thank
And the
you.
new model.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
on too.
congratulations, congratulations. Did I miss anyone?
Miss Angela.
Miss
Angela Kirk's
Angela.
at the bottom. She's back.
Okay. Miss Angela.
Oh, I think she said she can't hear anything.
Yeah.
She can't hear.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna do a cut, and then that way maybe we can get her plugged in. So, Mr. Mike, we will let. Are you in, Miss Angel? If not, we can let you introduce yourself a little bit later. Mr. Mike Jones,
Yes.
how did you get started
Well,
in
this
your
has been a
field?
long journey. This movie, Never Again, started actually way back in. It's based on my book, $1 at a Time. I published a book in 2000, and it's about economic empowerment within the Black community. And I published a book and did a book tour from 2000 2001. And someone came up to me and said, "You know what? I love your book, but have you ever thought about writing a play? Because Black folks don't read." I didn't want to hear that. But I took him up on it, and I wrote my first play called Never Again, which we started in 2002. We sold out my very first show, and we toured from 2002 to 2004. So that is actually the movie Never Again that started in 2002. 20 years later, we brought it back because now we're in a Black History Me Too movement. So it's so important now that we dig into our history, because our history lies in knowing who we are as African people and love who we
Yes.
are. So that's why this message is so important now, more so than when we did it as a stage play in 2002.
Okay. Have you always wanted to be a movie director and a producer?
No, it's just the opportunities that came to me with people. I believe that God sends angels to everyone
Mm, okay.
that guide you in where you're supposed to go by planting seeds in your life, by speaking something over you. And many of us don't listen. Many of us say, "Well, I can't do that because husband won't let me work. I don't have a degree. I don't have education. Don't have any money." So it allows the devil to beat you down so you don't follow the dream. If somebody just came up and said, "You look like you might be good with kids. You ever thought of having a daycare?" You're like, "No, I can't do that. I don't have a degree. I don't, and that was an angel speaking through that person. So I listened. And when that person told me about writing a play, never did plays before. I took them up on it.
Hmm.
I learned about it. I did it. And first play was a success. And
Okay.
the movie came as a result of COVID.
Oh.
If there wasn't no COVID, I'd still be hustling plays all over the Southeast. But when COVID came in, we had to reinvent ourselves. in the entertainment industry.
That's true.
And someone said, might as well do your play, put it on TV, on the internet. I'm like, well, okay, we'll rent a theater, do it with no actors, no audience, and just film it and put it on the internet. And I started doing that, and I rented a theater with no audience. And we were getting ready to do it, and I was like, but we're gonna put grass and trees on stage. And there's grass and trees in the backyard for free. And I'm like, okay, I guess we can do that. So a person spoke something over my life, and it became a side.
Okay.
And there's Martin Taylor, who was the very first actor in 2002 that was on stage when we did the show Never Again.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
Can
me.
you hear, Martin?
I have one more question for you, Mr. Jones, and then we are going to go on to your lovely and talented cast. I heard you say something about the person that told you to write it and turn it into a movie instead of a play because people don't read. What was your thought process, and how did you feel at that moment when another person said those words to you?
Oh, I mean, I was offended first. And I'm like, that's like an insult, But he bought the book. So I'm like, I can't be too insulted at the man that bought my book. But I was like, oh, wow. I'm starting to think about it. Stage plays, you're able to capture music, audio, visual, storytelling, and in a personal environment on stage. You can do more. And unfortunately, he was right. A lot of Black folks don't read. Unfortunately, that's just the reality. So I got over my being offended, and I was like, how can I make that work? I don't know nothing about theater, but I surrounded myself with people who knew that I mentored under. And Tyrone Butler, in Augusta, wonderful man, Augusta Mini Theater. I had to do a shout out. I mentored under him, and I learned theater, and this became a reality.
Okay. Miss Angel with the angel face. Hello, sweetie. How are you? Can you hear me?
She needs to unmute.
Oh, she just lost her. No. Okay, I will ask you, Mr. Moss. What inspired you to be an actress?
So what inspired me was really just watching like films and like plays on television. And then I always like after that, I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. I just pursued that.
Okay. Miss Kirks, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Thank you for joining us. Love your acting skills. Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much.
All of you are amazing, especially Mr. Taylor. Everyone is amazing.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you want to get into acting.
Well, I have wanted to get into acting for a long time. But first of all, I am a mother of four. I am 57 years old, and I love movies. I love plays. Thank you very much. I love socializing. So I always wanted to get into acting ever since I was in junior high school, but those classes were always full. Like I always had a waiting list, and I never made it in, even through high school. When I met Michael, I think it was around about 2013, and he was working on the play When God Calls, Will You Answer?
Yeah.
I believe we started socializing on MySpace at first, and then Facebook.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna talk about the MySpace part. Anyway, so he asked me to come sit in on a few rehearsals, and I went, and luckily for me, he needed someone for a role, and he asked me to do it, and then I happily accepted, and it was the role of Kim. Um, and that's how I got in on it, and I've been rocking with him since then.
Okay, okay. Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations. Mr. Taylor, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What
Happy
sparked,
Thanksgiving.
thank you, you too, you too.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
sparked your acting career?
Well, I always liked acting since grade school and
Mm,
my childhood years, and then I got into high school and I was into drama, amongst other things. But yeah, and then I just went on to be in plays then, and then I went to Georgia Southern University, and there I took some acting. And from then on, I just, that was just one of my hobbies. And so I met Michael, um, and hey, the chemistry was just there, and he accepted me on as a cast member, and we had a blast. And so I was actually in the play, the first, when it was a play, rather, the movie when it
mm-hmm.
was a play. So I got the best of both worlds, being on stage, playing it, and then also on the movie scene. So it was amazing. Michael is awesome. He brought something, a masterpiece together,
Yes.
and I love the message, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I thank him. I thank him for letting me be a part of it. Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and
Thank
y'all know
you.
she watched the movie.
The
Oh,
whole movie. So I want to applaud every single one
yeah,
of you
thank
for
thank
you.
bringing it
you.
to life because you have to be able to do that to be an actor and an actress.
Mhm. Oh
You
yeah.
have to be able to
I
tear
hope you
up
didn't.
in a certain, huh?
I hope you didn't hate me too much.
No, 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 no. Mr. Hunter, how are you, sir?
I'm all well. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. What is your greatest strength as an actor, and what do you think it takes to become a good actor or actress?
Hmm. I say my greatest strength is listening
Mm,
and
Mhm.
observing. Um, this was my very first time getting into acting, so everything was like brand new to me. And I have to thank Mike Jones, have to thank Martin Taylor, the whole cast. But me and Martin Taylor, we worked beside each other throughout the whole movie, and he taught me some things I didn't know.
Mhm.
It I didn't know that it would be that difficult, but it was a challenge. And with the help of Mike Jones and Martin Taylor and the rest of the cast, everything came together good.
yes, it did. Yes, it did. That scene with the water fountain, you know, that just did something to me. I kind of felt like we did. We can drink here, man. We can drink here, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, awesome.
Miss, I don't want to forget nobody. I want to ask good questions. So let me want to make sure everybody's here. Um, is Miss Angel back?
No, she's not able to get back. She's gonna
Okay.
keep trying.
Okay.
She's out of town and
Has
her Wi-Fi is not great.
Oh, it is okay. We're gonna make sure that this looks good. I promise. I promise. Um, so has anyone taken any formal acting classes, or studied acting, or have a degree or diploma?
The classes that I
Sorry.
So,
was with Mr.
OJT.
on the job training.
Well, you
On
know
the
what?
job training. Well,
Experience
Angel
is
has
the
taken.
greatest
She's
teacher.
back, but
Okay, experience is the greatest teacher. It
Mhm.
is. It is.
And he
yeah,
did teach us a few things as far as different types of words and meanings that goes along with acting. So he had
Yes.
like a couple of classes that he
Yes,
gave
ma'am.
us.
Yes, ma'am. I was going back and forth to Atlanta to audition, and it is really hard. And I didn't know that there was a difference between auditioning for a play and auditioning for a movie. Even the way that you stand and how you say your words, it all affects how you get that role or not. So again, I applaud all of you. It was excellent. Um, Hello, Miss Angel. How are you?
yeah.
She doing all
She's
right.
in the country right now, so
I
Wi-Fi
don't
is
want to leave
muted.
you out of the
Tired.
conversation. Okay, okay. Um, so what type of roles would you like to do in the future, um, Mr. Martin?
Well, I'll, s- I always end up finding myself to be the one you love to hate. Always. It's like we always find me in those characters, if you will. But I think that what I would like to do is like be on the other side, or and I always wanted to do like a thriller or not horror so much, but just something that was something different from what I'm usually casted as. So I would like to be a little bit, maybe a little bit lighter, lightweight, not hated so much. But I'll take whatever, and it's an art. And I did take classes at Georgia Southern University. I did take some acting. Theater. Well, actually, my minor was in theater for a while. So I did take some theater classes. So yeah, but yeah, I don't mind. I just wanna go the whole spectrum, you know,
Well,
go the whole spectrum.
it's a blessing to have a movie producer like Mr. Mike
Oh
Jones,
yes.
because Augusta, Georgia doesn't have as many opportunities
Mm-mm.
like Atlanta does. But, and I'm not being biased or anything, I think Augusta has just some of the best as does Atlanta.
Oh
But I
yeah.
do, Mr. Mike has a vision, and I'm glad that he has a wonderful cast and team members that it's going to take him to the next level. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas, how are you, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Doing fine, sir. So you're born and bred here, huh?
Yeah, born and raised in Augusta.
Okay, okay. And where do you see yourself in 6 to 7 years being an actor?
Well, I just want to broaden my horizons. There's limitless opportunity out there, but I always tell myself I'm not going to stop until I'm on the big screen. Really don't care. You give me the role, I'll do my best to perfect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you. I'm
He's
50,
awesome.
so you know why I asked you that question?
Why is that?
Because I think that you have a great future. You
Well, I
you did
appreciate that.
you did good.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
yes.
Mhm.
And Mr. Hunter, when you dress up, sir. I love that scene with you and the lady. It was just gorgeous. Are you ready to talk about that just a little bit? Just a little bit.
Oh, you talking about the club scene?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How did you feel when you had to stand up to this big dude, right?
Yeah.
And like, why can't you let me in, man? And he kept putting the bag up. That was hurtful. But how would
I
you?
I really had to get into that character, and like I say,
I'm gonna
the
be over there in a
castmates
few minutes.
helped me
I'm
out,
across the
so it
street.
was a very good chemistry.
Okay. I'm across the street. I'll be over there. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
it was a very good chemistry between me and what's his name, AR Crowd. So that worked out very well. So I had to get into character and feel from the other character to make it happen.
Okay.
It turned out good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was. Hello, Mr. Boyce. Mr. Boyce, how are you? You so quiet over there. Um, how did you feel about playing your role?
For me,
No, I'm talking to Miss I'm sorry, Mr.
Dumas.
Moss,
Oh, Mr. Mouse. Oh, hi. Okay, so like you said, how did I feel about the role?
that you had to play.
It was interesting. Like it was definitely out of my comfort zone because I had to be kind of like I wouldn't say the mean girl, but I kind of like Samantha
Mm,
role was like she kind of stuck up for herself. So that was it was very interesting.
okay.
So it was a fun experience, and thank
Now
you,
you
Mike.
said that you had to play the mean girl. Is that was because you were sticking up for your color, or you
Well,
just thought it was
yeah, it was more so not I wouldn't say mean girl, but more in the aspect of the the wig. Like that was a different feel.
Yeah, they
that was
like
a
that
little
book.
extra. That was a little extra.
It was a lot, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have to and by you being the age that you are, you really, people my age can really understand what racism is about and slavery. But that's why I was asking the question, how did you feel having to play a role at your age, you and Miss Angel?
Um, so I could identify with some aspects of it as far as like colorism. It's not. I would not say that it. Some of the aspects are um, as prominent as they were like back then, but you do still kind of experience that. Whether you're on whatever side, a darker side or a lighter side. So
That's
um,
true.
I could. I kind of felt Samantha's pain in regards to that. So it was comfortable in that aspect, but just the fighting, that was a lot. But it was a good role and I'm thankful for it.
Fucking loco in here. Locsta on the beat.
Right.
And Miss Angel, how did you feel about playing your part?
Well, if anyone knows me, that role was the complete opposite of me. So it
Really?
was, I had to really dig deep and find the way to be a little nasty.
Wow,
But
that's what make
I've,
good actors,
yeah,
though.
it really was. It was good experience. I usually play roles that are more negative leaning because of how tall I am, because I'm 5'9", so I usually play characters who are a little more mean in that way. But it was a good experience being able to play like a college type like mean girl character.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who
she
is
was
your
mean.
favorite actor? Who is your favorite actor or actress? Is there
I
anyone that inspires you?
Kristen Chenoweth.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And Miss Angel, I'm sorry, Miss Angela,
Yes.
let's get you into the conversation, pretty lady.
Thank you.
How did you get into your character? What do you do?
Um, I I read over the character's position. I just read over to see what kind of attitude they're supposed to carry or how they carry themselves, and then I try to make that person into myself.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, and I watch. I mean, I pay attention to a lot of different actresses, and please don't ask me who's my favorite one because I have.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what acting role have you enjoyed the most?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot that I can mention, but I'll say like I like Taraji P
T.
Henson.
Henson.
Yeah, I love Fatima on that Tyler Perry show. Uh, she's definitely one of my
Yes.
favorites. Um, I like to see Janet on the screen. Oh my God, I can't even. I'm gonna stop right there. It's a lot of them. I can't even think of all of them, but I watch a lot of different characters. Now I like this one character on The Bold and the Beautiful by the name of Steffi. I like her character. I like how she play her character. I ain't
Sarah,
gonna
yeah.
say I like her character, but I like how she acts. So yeah.
Mr. Mike,
Yes.
what inspired you to write this movie?
Well, like I said, the movie
Was a
came
book.
from, well, um, the book came from a movement that I promoted in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta. I went to AU, went to Morris Brown and Southern Tech, and I talked around and asked a lot of nonprofit organizations who were they getting their donations and sponsored from. This was in Atlanta. This was 1996, many years ago. And I was asking a lot of them. They were saying that Coca-Cola, AT&T, MCI sponsors them. I'm like, well, we're in Atlanta. There's a lot of Black folks. Why aren't Black folks supporting the nonprofit organizations, monetarily in Atlanta? Holyfield and architects and, all these rich Black folks. So I was like, well, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise $1 million, $1 per Black person in Atlanta, $1 at a time. Just a desire, a dream of mine. And I started 1996 speaking, organization after organization all year. And we had literally over 100 people helping to, talk to organizations, asking them for a donate $1 to the Black Bank. And as it will come together, we'll donate it to an organization that's helping children. And at the end of the year, throughout the entire year of 1996, we raised a little over $4,000 for the whole year, which was an interesting year. I was kind of depressed, kind of saddened that we didn't come together. I spoke all year, large organizations, small organizations, about supporting a Black nonprofit organization. And someone said, you know what? You need to put it in perspective. And that's another person speaking something over my life. And I didn't understand what it meant. Put in perspective that white folks in America, have had 400 years to create an economic system, political system, work economics, and generational wealth in the Black community. In the white community. We have had 60 and 40 years from Malcolm Martin Luther King dying in 65 and 68 to create everything in America. So when you compare 400 years to 40 years, you're comparing an adult to a child who's never been given anything. So that was I compiled all that, that I learned, the mental conditioning of slavery. I had to learn that throughout that whole 4 years of developing the book in Atlanta, and came together to a book. And like I said, I published it in 2000. And from that, I listened to the angels that speak over my life to guide me into directions that I go. And that's what I've been doing throughout my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what the
Do you
weirdest
have
thing?
any? I'm sorry,
Someone
go ahead.
came up. I had another angel speak to me recently I was looking for a promoter to help promote the movie, and someone said, "You know what? Movies are good, but series really, that's what you need to be doing."
Yes, yes,
And I'm like,
yes.
So my next play, which was 40 Acres Who Stole the Mule, that many of the actors here were in, I'm actually adapting that. It was 2.5 hour play that we did for 3 years from 2006 to 2009. And it sold out many times throughout the tour. I'm going to rewrite that into a 6 hour so I can get basically 6 episodes. And that's going to be a series. So that's my next project.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
I
I'm
like
bringing
it.
40 Acres Who Stole the Mule. So some of the actors on here that were in it, I'm going to be
Yes.
calling. So I'm going to get people to binge on something.
Now, as a director, what do you look for in your characters when you're auditioning?
Basically characters that, if I'm looking for a mean person, I'm looking for someone that can channel that. Looking for a funny person, a comedian. I'm looking for someone to cry. And Angela and Angel can cry. They didn't tell you that. They know how to cry,
No,
and that was
on spot, like,
yes, that was
oh,
awesome.
wow. Some
And like
people do really
Hunter,
have to channel that, though.
yeah, and that's where I talk about and I teach method acting and some things. And Hunter was great on he was, like I said, listening. He didn't just listen to me; he listened to everybody, and that helped to channel the characters. That he had a lot of characters, and like Thomas is, I mean, he's been with me for a while. He's the go-to. I mean,
Okay.
he is, I mean, a pleasant person to work with, doesn't complain, just would take any role. And Miss Dumas, now she's a model, so she can do more things. She's spreading out and doing things. So, and like I said, Martin Taylor is just awesome to, and Angel. Um, I mean, her skills as an actor have surpassed. Sometimes I want you to do this. She would do it without even hesitation. So the actors that we had, it was 2 years of filming this movie. Literally 2 years through COVID.
Yeah, she
And they
told
didn't
me
tell
some
you
of
that
your
I was asking them to
story.
stick that thing up their nose every Thursday before filming. Yeah, see, he's shaking his head. He didn't like doing that. But we had to go through COVID and we had to make sure the actors, were able to do the scenes. And it was an incredible journey of 2 years to put together a movie.
Well, now that you've had your hand in movie production and theater, which one do you think is the hardest and why?
Wow. Well, they both have difficulties and they both have challenges. But now that I'm in movies, I'm learning more about um, like the green screen. We didn't use a green screen at all in our movie, but wow, I mean, we could have, things I didn't know and things I'm learning. I mean, for instance, in the baseball scene, we could have had with the green screen out there, we could have shown 100 people in the stands watching the movie. I mean,
Oh,
watching the
wow.
game. In Malcolm X, where Angela Kirks was in, we could have had a ballroom with 300 people in there running around screaming just digitally.
Wow.
And then when Dumas was in the college scene, we could have actually used a green screen and had students walking around. And I mean, we could have done that, but I was new in it. So I had to make all those things from scratch. And even
Yeah,
in
I
the
know
cotton,
during our conversation you told me about the cotton scene where you had
yeah,
to
I had to
go and
physically
get it
make
and
cotton
put it together,
and
and I
stick
was
it in the
like,
ground.
wow.
And now I'm like, the computer could have digitally made cotton and filled that whole field with cotton on the computer. but things like that, I'm like, wow. And just I just saw the movie Black Panther. The amount of things they did with the green screen and digitally just blew my mind. And I'm looking at these things, I'm like, wow, on my next project, I'm gonna get some green screens. We're gonna do some stuff, because everything we had to do manually to make it work. So I mean, it's so much. But theater is my first love because you could be on stage and you have an intimate relationship with the audience, and the feedback from the audience can drive you higher and higher and higher with the scene. Whether you're crying, you're playing a comic, if you're being funny, and the audience is just loving it, oh, they can take you higher. Because like 40 Acres Who Stole the Mule, oh, the audience loved that, and the cheering from the audience made some of those scenes just phenomenal. And the actors just threw in stuff that I didn't write because they were in the moment, and it felt
Okay.
and they just took it, and it's like great. So, this I love both, but I got a lot to learn in movies, a lot, because I
Do
want to
you
blow up
have
a
any
car.
acting experience?
Uh, no, I just God has given me the ability to learn and
To
absorb
lead and
and watch
direct.
so much, and I learn from watching. And the music scoring a movie is phenomenal. I mean, in the movie we had so many songs in it that, I mean, I love that part of it now. You know, adding music to a scene that makes a scene come alive. I mean, it just if you take the music out of it, the scene is nowhere. But once you put the music in it, it
Mm,
builds it. You
it
know,
does. It
yeah.
does.
And my cinematographer, Brian. Oh, I gotta do a shout out for him. Brian is the awesome. I mean, he made some things look perfect on that movie.
Do you have a favorite actor or actress?
Well, I call Hunter, Denzel. It's, he's the next Denzel. And Angel is Angela Bassett, because I love her. Um,
Okay.
and Angela, she mentioned, Taraji, because that's what I see her. And now I'm looking at, Dumas. I'm like, she might be a runner up for Angela Bassett too, because she's got some really good skills. But those are I mean, I love those. I watch Denzel. I've seen his career. And a lot of what I've learned from those characters in different movies they've done and they've produced. And I watch the behind the scenes, um, and see what they do and what they talk about. And their characters are awesome.
Okay. What do you think has been one of your biggest challenges in making this, and how did you overcome it?
Oh wow. Well, financing was an interesting journey. that was I financed the entire project myself. That
Yeah,
was
tell
something
us a
new.
little bit about that.
Well, and the actors knew that I was feeding Augusta. I was delivering door dashing. I mean, I'm not proud. I mean, I'm not too proud to
That
say
is something to be
I
proud of,
financed
though.
the
You
entire
you actually
project
put
door
in the
dashing.
hard work.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I said that is something to be proud of because you put in the hard work and the dedication. It takes a lot to put in forth the effort to build something that would teach somebody else, and that's what you created. You gave a little
Yeah.
bit of history and a little bit of slavery and a little bit of racism, and you brought it to life, and you are able to have your cast tell their stories in such a way that was really, really good. So I do
Oh.
wish you the best. And yeah, you can. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just saying,
Well,
don't
no,
do
I
that
mean
to yourself.
you're right. Like I said, this message is so important, and with movies, like I said, it's out there now on Vimeo, and we've got it available to 320 million people. And in stage plays, you have an opportunity that night to capture an audience, but with a movie, it lives on. And I was telling my actors that they are now immortal because when their grandkids are around, their grandkids might pop in the movie and see them in some format, because it will live on. I mean, people are watching JJ Good Times, Sanford and Son, every year Christmas. You know, the little guy comes back. I'm Home Alone. You know, it's for every year. So now that the movie is out, we got every year there's a Black History Month. Every year there's an opportunity for Malcolm X. So this movie can live on and on for a long time, and that's something I'm proud of, that we've created a legacy.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Um, I would like to thank everybody for your time, and thank you for joining us. Um, my name is Denise Scott. This has been a wonderful episode talking to Mike Jones and his phenomenal cast of Never Again. Again, my name is Denise Scott. We do welcome donations and sponsorship. This is Entrepreneurial Empire. Have a blessed Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank
Good
You
you.
night.
too.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Cass.
All
All
right.
right.
Wish I had some turkey
Bye
for
bye.
everybody.
All right. Y'all have a
Peace.
good Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.